Welcome to Make a Path Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes, and today let's talk about Overkill's The Walking Dead. Now, I thought the previous video, the previous update on this game would be the last time we talked about it, but I think this officially is the very last time. And this is bittersweet. I mean, it's bitter because this was a game that a lot of us thought was going to be really great and amazing, and we waited years for it to drop. And then it ended up being nothing at all like we expected, and there was a lot of fans disappointed, and they announced the bankruptcy, the company, I think it's Starbreeze, and then they even said there's a postponement on whether it's going to come to console. It was released on PC already. I know there was some confusion in an earlier video about that, but it was released on PC, didn't get a lot of good traffic, a lot of good hype, got a lot of bad reviews, and then they postponed releasing it on console. Now, like I said, I thought I was pretty much done with it. Not something I'm interested in gameplay-wise, but eventually maybe I'd pick it up for like $10 on clearance, and we would give it a shot on the channel. However, news just came out today. The Walking Dead creators kill Overkill's The Walking Dead game. And again, like I said, this is bittersweet. The sweet part comes into play where Skybound Entertainment, they're not pulling any punches with this, and I think this is an absolute positive thing for them and a good view for us as fans, that there's hope that they're going to make damn sure the next Walking Dead game that comes out with the Skybound name on it, not the AMC universe in the world of The Walking Dead, but the Skybound game, the next one that comes out with the world of The Walking Dead or in the world of The Walking Dead will be a banger. It says right here that Skybound Entertainment, the company founded by David Alpert and The Walking Dead's Robert Kirkman, terminated its contract Tuesday with developer Starbreeze Studios and killed off the studio's game Overkill's The Walking Dead. The game will no longer be released on console, and Valve is finalizing its strategy for how to handle the sale of the PC version of the game on Steam. In a statement sent to Variety, Skybound Entertainment said it was terminating its contract with the studio, saying this: "Our creators and their stories are the core of Skybound, and since 2014, we have worked hard to expand the world of The Walking Dead into an exceptional co-op action first-person shooter," according to the statement. "We did our best to work with Starbreeze and resolve many issues that we saw with the game, but ultimately Overkill's The Walking Dead did not meet our standards, nor is it the quality that we were promised. We are exceedingly sorry to our fans and share their disappointment in the game. We remain dedicated to providing our fans with the most premium quality content we can offer, and will continue to look for alternative video game options for the IP." I think there's also another comment down here. "We launch a game and then we evolve the game with the community." Who's that from? In a 2018 interview, this is Global Starbreeze said that post-launch plans were designed to mimic the formula that was so successful with Payday. "We launched the game and then we evolve the game with the community, and then we work on what we want to do from a narrative and gameplay perspective," he said at the time. "Every month after launch, we will do something new for players. Whoever gets the game is going to be entertained for a long time." Wow, that did not date well. "Think of it more as a TV show with episodes rather than a movie." Man, you know what? I haven't played it on PC. From what I've seen, though, that comment doesn't make any sense at all. A TV show, you get something new every single episode. From what it looked like is, okay, here's an area. Maybe he meant the areas you play in will cycle in and out, and you'll get new areas and new maps, and they'll move things around. But essentially, the gameplay was just like, here's an area. They might have little story elements, but it's really superficial and weak. But it's, go open this door, go get the generator, get gas for the generator, and keep in mind you're in this little area. You got zombies coming this way, bad guys over here, and then it switches it around where in this mission you're going around bad guys, either killing them quietly, sneaking around to get this and this and this. You know what I mean? It's just one of those, it's a chore video game. You're just doing chores the entire game. Here was a bad review given to it by Variety back when it first dropped, but officially, like I said, this is it with Overkill's The Walking Dead. Like, it is dead, it is done. They canceled their contract. That's something I would really like to find out more of what goes on behind the scenes with that, because obviously, right off the top of my head, I would imagine Overkill can only use The Walking Dead through a licensing contract, and I would imagine that's the contract they are speaking about. But where I would like to learn more is, how does that work? Because in other articles, Starbreeze paid them $10 million for the contract. Do they keep all the money, and are they allowed to cancel the contract because it's not performing well, because it's just poor? Like, at what point are they allowed to legally say, okay, that's it, it's done? Do they keep all the money? Do they keep a percentage of that money? You get what I'm saying? So was it like, here's $10 million for 4 years, but since we only used 1 year, we're only keeping like $2 million, or 2.5 stuff? I don't know, something like that. I would really like to learn a little more about all the contract stuff behind the scenes, because I would imagine, since it's dead in the water, if you pay $10 million for the licensing and it's done, you're not recouping any money. That's just, if that was the case. But like I said, it's stuff that I would like to learn about, because I'm extremely curious about how that works behind the scenes. Now, to the positive side of this with Skybound and how they reacted, I think it's great on so many levels. For two main points. One, like I mentioned before, this is an opportunity for us to get a canon comic book video game that is actually fun and interesting. And if they were to do one, if they're listening to this right now, they're like, what do fans want? Let me tell you, we discuss it a lot, so I hear a lot of feedback from the fan base. I'm sure they have articles or posts or social media. They can hear some of what fans say. And I know it's only a splinter of the fan base that will play it, because the online active fan base for anything is always smaller online. It's not the entirety. It's not the whole. We've gone over this when it came to Marvel stuff, The Walking Dead. But what I hear frequently is one of either two things. Maybe a open world, third person or first person, or something that is linear storytelling, but with a great story and plot / character driven storytelling. Again, first example would be like The Last of Us. Imagine a similar, I would argue, Skybound should look at a little smoother gameplay when it comes to developing it, just to make it stand out and to highlight those differences. Something that's a little more smoother, a little more fast-paced, and that does have to do with in The Last of Us, a lot of the gameplay relies on you being stealthy and then being methodical in how you do your attacks. You know what I mean? You need to have a method to your madness. You can't just, it's not built to just run around and boom, boom, boom. But if you have something like the world of The Walking Dead with slower zombies and it's not running clickers and this, it might actually be very fun and interesting to have characters that are a little more smooth in their movements. However, they can get behind different hiding places. They can chain alleyways. They can distract. Like, let's just say off the top of my head, if you have an open area where it's like a like a courtyard and it's like a maze essentially, and you leave it open where if you get the zombies' attention, they will all come that direction. So it's up to the character to hop on a garbage can and hop on a fence, hop over, knock one down, shoot one, stab one, dip in this little alley, and then it's up to the character to chain off the alleyway, then go back around, throw a can or make noise or light a fire, and then it will essentially be like a maze in certain areas. And this is only a tiny part of the gameplay. Keep in mind, in certain areas, it'll be like a maze to funnel those zombies. They could go straight at them if they wanted to and test their ability to knock one down, stab one, back up, shoot. But are they going to run out of ammo? Are they even going to be able to find a lot of ammo coming up? I think something like that would be highly entertaining and work really well. And again, that's a small part of what the gameplay would be. It would be open. You would leave it wide open for the actual game player to figure out how they want to manipulate this to get around. Essentially, and again, off the top of my head, it would be a general idea of the player just getting from A to B in one of their missions. Now, are you going to have a sidekick like in The Last of Us? You have a character with you. I think it would work having a character that is alone for a good chunk, but also have characters that they interact with. Some people have mentioned Red Dead Redemption, and keep in mind, I think these are really good ideas, but we also have to look at how difficult it would be. And again, off the top of my head, I'm not a video game developer, but I'm just thinking it would be tricky and difficult to create a video game with a world full of zombies, because they would always have to be active and moving around if it's free open world and you're just running around in that open world. So I do think maybe I was playing this new game, Metro Exodus, and I did hear in a review, because I'm totally lost in that game. I think it's a little clunky, but it has a lot of promise. I like the atmosphere, but I want to learn more. I want to get better at it before I write it off completely. And in one of the reviews, it mentions that it actually combines open world with linear, where you have this open world map, but once you accomplish what you need to in that area, you move over to a new area. And it got me to think, man, something like that could really work in the world of The Walking Dead. Imagine if it kicks off and let's say it's the end of summertime where it's heading into winter. I think that's when the virus canon officially kicks off in The Walking Dead. I think in that universe it was like October, November-ish, right? I'm almost positive it was locked down in like that October. Again, in 2010, I think that's canon for the... No, that's the show. I'm sorry, the comic was somewhere like 2003. It doesn't matter. But in that universe, you would have that type of season, and then that open world landscape sending you through different areas, interacting with different characters. And again, you would have certain weapons. You would pick up wood as you're searching the different areas. You can pick up wood, and this you can board off windows. And yeah, for those who that sounds familiar, that was an aspect of a Doomsday Kingdom game for my own personal comic that it's going to be almost never to 10 years from now before we're able to even create it. I don't know, if someone pops up out of the blue and they're like, yo, I know how to do this and da-da-da, yeah, we're all in, but I'm just using ideas that I know would be fun as a zombie fan. And I think something like that where you are picking up boards, you are picking up chains, and again, it is a video game, so you do your collecting, and then when you get into these areas where you have zombies, you can use the chains you've collected to block off certain areas. You can use the boards to block off certain windows. If you go into a house, you can actually block off the windows downstairs to give you enough time to move a couch or knock down a dresser to keep the zombies from coming in. Then you get up stairs on top of the house, and then it's up to you to figure out if the house is surrounded, maybe you need to do something to get them all whatever. Maybe there's boards you can rip up to lay down and then get distance and jump to the ground. I don't know. I'm just thinking things off the top of my head. It's not just about, when it comes to a fun, I feel, Walking Dead game, it's not just simply about here's a knife, here's a gun, and let's go around and do things like this. You need to have the story, the characters you like, but also some type of smooth, fun, and different, unique environment as well. So, I don't know. Again, there's Days Gone coming out in April. I'm real interested to get my hands on that because I feel like playing that would open my eyes a lot more at what a open world Walking Dead would be like, because that is an open world game where you have zombies that essentially move faster. So I'm thinking if they can make it work in that game, it is possible in the future to get a Red Dead Redemption like open world zombie game with The Walking Dead. I think that would be fantastic. And what I was saying before about staging areas that had different well, just simply different staging areas. You can have one where once you complete that mission, you're no longer in that map anymore, and then it's a time skip. You have a cutscene, and let's say it even changes seasons to where it's fall. Again, this isn't just thinking, oh, it worked for The Last of Us, let's steal that idea. No, it's thinking, well, how can we change the map up? So again, you would have fall, you would have the leaves, the visuals would look different. In the fall, you can even tweak some of the gameplay where the zombies would hear you crunching on some of the leaves. leaves, if it's the dead, dry time of the fall. Even maybe the end of the game would be another cutscene and then open the winter. And then you can even, or the sequel could have winter, and you can even have different gameplay when it comes to winter. You can have the whole big map, and a quarter of the section of the map is fall. This half of is winter areas and stuff like that. And again, it is kind of giving the environment something a little different. That kind of would break a little of the immersion, though, because if it's this huge open world, why are you having snow areas with fall areas with, summer looking areas? I'm just trying to give examples of something that would be fun, because I think it's about time we get a Walking Dead game that would be fun. And if Skybound was open to any pitches, I doubt this at all is even possible. I would love to sit down and write just a little spec example of what it would be like, what kind of story that a fan would be interested in. We would have to figure out if it's first-person shooter, though, or third-person with a companion, without a companion. I don't want anything that's multiplayer. That's just me. I think single-player story is fine. If there's a way to even do single-player with a few missions where you can have a buddy, that might work. But, again, that gets into a little trickier territory. But you guys leave your thoughts and opinions down below. This is pretty much just like an open discussion for fans of The Walking Dead and the zombie genre, and wanting a good video game coming up, because we didn't get one with Overkill's The Walking Dead, and it is officially done, which is a shame, because, my God, those trailers. I thought this was going to be wow. Like, I really thought this was it. And I'm glad that Skybound isn't just writing fans off as anything negative, like, oh, look at these people, look at these fans, like, we tried to do this and they just don't want it. I'm glad they were able to see and know, like, we're not playing this either. Like, this is not what we signed on for. This is terrible, so that's actually pretty cool. So I'm hoping the next project that comes out from them is awesome. And like I mentioned before, I don't think it's possible, because if they do go with a company to develop the next game, I'm pretty sure in-house they're going to want their own stories, their own whatever. But it would be nice for, if they ever do come across this video, for some of you guys to leave your thoughts and opinions about what type of video game you would be interested in when it came to The Walking Dead in particular. So if you want to leave your thoughts and opinions down below for that, I would love to read them. Even if they don't, I would love to know what you guys are interested in. Because keep in mind, if we get lucky one day and we can do a Doomsday Kingdom video game, even if it's a small one, I definitely want to know what you guys are interested in when it comes to a video game and zombies, and blending that together into something really fun and really interesting. All right, thoughts and opinions in that comment box. I'm done talking, so it's your turn.